Yesterday night, we broke a story here that El-Ghazi is one of those players that United are looking at after a confirmation that Anthony is going to be out for some long time as he sorts his problems. And for Jadon Sancho's future, it's uncertain because he's still pinning the tweet he put out after the Arsenal game that went ahead to attack Erik ten Hag. And obviously, he's still adamant on what he said, and it looks like the manager has to win this battle. And in the due course of the manager winning this battle, that means Jadon Sancho is obviously going to be sidelined for some time in here onto the United Matters channel, meaning that United is going to be having no certified right forward, and that's why El-Ghazi was linked to Man United. Today, a story has been given to us that Man United are not interested in El-Ghazi. That is it, coming in from 2-3 credible journalists that are really so close to Man United, and we wait to see the truth behind this. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Facundo Pellistri, Erik ten Hag is doing all what he has to do to convince him to put pen to paper on a longer contract to start Man United. And you all know that yesterday Pogba was really suspended after finding a lot of testosterone into his body, a chemical that is not allowed to obviously be used, you know, in the game of football. That is it. When you have a lot of it in your body, then you are not given any play when it comes to playing the game of football. So that is it, and Michael Phelan has gone ahead and obviously reacted onto that, and those are the three stories we are having today, and we are going to be building onto this more and more and more and more. Now, El-Ghazi deal off, that is it. Now, but stories were that we are interested, but the United correspondent for the Telegraph today told us that Man United have been offered Dutch winger El-Ghazi, who is currently a free agent after leaving PSV. The club are exploring potential emergency winger options, meaning that the agent of El-Ghazi is the one who obviously went ahead and talked to Man United and obviously told them that I have a winger here who can obviously come out and solve your problems in there for you for a short period of time as you obviously sort yourselves out. But it's not that United were interested into El-Ghazi. They are not interested, but they are exploring potential free agents who are really wingers that can do the job at Man United, because it looks like we're not having Jadon Sancho, Anthony. You obviously need someone else. Now, after that, we got a story coming in from Laurie Whitwell, you know, certified and United correspondent for The Athletic, has confirmed to us that Man United are not interested in El-Ghazi after a proposal was made by agents. Facundo Pellistri was kept at the club with a view to future him in fixtures. Now, United are really denying that they're not interested in El-Ghazi. That is it. And I know why. Because maybe Ten Hag believes that there is a lot in Facundo Pellistri that he can get us. As I told you yesterday that if Ten Hag is in for this move, I'll obviously tell you that I'm also in for it, because El-Ghazi will obviously give us more options, maybe off the bench, even if it's Facundo Pellistri being tipped to start in all these games, as Sancho and Anthony are really out of action. He won't play every game because he will get an injury. That's the problem. So what you have to obviously pray for is obviously simple, that you have a backup at the bench. But I know you have some other options that can really do that job. If at all you're having Sofiane Amrabat, Eriksson, Kobe Menu, and Casemiro into that midfield, you can deploy Bruno Fernandes on the right, but I think you miss out a lot from him when he plays onto the right, especially as a right attacking midfielder. You can play there Mason Mount, obviously, but it will depend on what Erik ten Hag really wants. If at all Anthony and Sancho are really out, then Ten Hag will have to find a solution on getting a free agent in as soon as possible, because that will be the player that obviously rescue us from what we are really going in through right about now at Man United. You know, these are all uncertainties that are really facing the club of Manchester United that you wouldn't like to see your club go through. That is it. You would love to see your club have what we call a smooth path as far as all this is really concerned. So Facundo Pellistri is one of the reasons that's why he was kept, and Ten Hag believes that he can really get himself going. So, but that's not enough to obviously keep us in these fixtures or keep us through these fixtures, because you know how thick and fast they are going to be. So we need these players to come out as soon as possible to take the club to the next level. But Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and obviously broken a story about Facundo Pellistri this morning, and he said, understand Manchester United now consider Facundo Pellistri new deal one of the priorities, as talks already took place in April and during the summer. Pellistri under contract until June 2025. Talks of a new long-term deal are set to advance. So now, this is the time for Facundo Pellistri to obviously elevate himself, and the manager has to really show him that he really has what we call the trust in the player. That is it. If he has the trust in the player, that means he should not obviously find himself getting another player, because that will be one of the things that you will obviously want to see in a manager that is giving you a new contract. Now, the only way to convince him to obviously extend the contract is by one, giving him enough playing time in the absentia of Jadon Sancho and Anthony. That is it. And it's written all over the board that he is the immediate replacement to come in through and obviously do the needful at the club of Manchester United as far as all this is really concerned. And when you look at Facundo Pellistri, to me, he is both a traditional and modern winger. You know, he can cut inside, you know, he can go towards the byline and come in with the perfect cross. And even though he goes to the byline, even if there is a very limited space there because he has a low center of gravity, he just finds himself pull out trickeries past defenders and finds himself really putting in a cutback that is really only demanding for a tap in into the back of the box, into the back of the net. And if I told you Rasmus Højlund, you would have to have Facundo Pellistri be at your service from the right attacking side of the midfield, because when you look at Rashford, he's really not so much interested in obviously creating chances, and he doesn't really give it his all when it comes to that. So, to my understanding, I think Facundo Pellistri should be given an improved contract. That is it. It ends in 2025, but he needs to obviously be given a new contract, improved one, and he needs to be shown confirmation that he's getting game time at the club of Manchester United. And I think that's what Ten Hag is going to do. Facundo Pellistri is one of those players that really played for Uruguay in the night, right? He played in the night, and we saw Uruguay beat Chile by 3-1, and Facundo Pellistri played almost 60 minutes of this game, and he was taken off. So it shows you that he's really pivotal into the team of Uruguay, and he has some match fitness in. Now, no reasons to be given to us that he has not been match fit. The guy is match fit. He has put minutes in his legs as he played for Uruguay and was playing against a team that is really tricky, that is Chile, one of the teams that is really very, very talented into the South America. So we wait and see whether Facundo Pellistri is obviously going to be really given the playing time, because that's the most important bit of it. Is he going to start against Brighton? Because that's one of the things that Ten Hag needs to work on, and obviously see to it that he plays a natural right winger like Facundo Pellistri when it matters most in this game. And Brighton is not far away from now. We are playing Brighton on Saturday, and today is Tuesday, meaning that 4 days from now we are going to see this happen, meaning that Facundo Pellistri is going to be on plane, and he might arrive on Wednesday or Thursday. So he'll train for like 2 days with the club of Man United and see whether he's obviously going to start. And the match preview is going to come in through on Thursday. So guys, wait for it. It's obviously going to flow in and out. Now, after that, Paul Pogba was really suspended yesterday after finding a lot of testosterone in his body. Right. Now, Mike Phelan, once a coach and assistant manager at Man United and was so much close to Paul Pogba, has said the following: you have to be there for the players like Paul Pogba, and that was easy for me. It's about relying, it's about replying those messages to them. Keep your head down, do your work, you're a good player, that's why you're there, and it will all come together. So it shows you that Mike Phelan was really doing that job at the club of Man United to obviously find himself in a position of obviously doing the psychological bit of it and obviously telling the players that things are going to work out. But for Paul Pogba, this is where we hail Erik ten Hag, that is a genius. As I always tell you, that it's said that the wise see ahead. And guess who was the wise man? It was Erik ten Hag. He saw ahead and obviously found it out that Paul Pogba was not going to come in here and obviously play ball for the club of Man United, and he said don't renew his contract, meaning that would have gone ahead to give him a lucrative contract. Last season he played like 6 games or 10 games in the season, almost out for the lion's share of the season because of his ankle injury. So Paul Pogba now has been found in testosterone, a lot of testosterone in his body, and has gone ahead to be suspended. It's rumored that a 4-year ban might be going to be given to Paul Pogba. That is it. So it's really not good news for Paul Pogba and his career, because in the moment where we expected him to obviously try to fight and get back to where it's supposed to be, that's when he has gotten a very bad suspension from the people that are really responsible for this beautiful game of football, that is UEFA and FIFA. So we wait and see how that happens for Paul Pogba, but I want to obviously tell you that all that is in what we call the doping process, and he failed it, and Paul Pogba is now a victim. You know, if he was at Man United, it would have been now mourning that you see things have not gone ahead as planned, and you're obviously not getting the best out of him, you know. But Ten Hag really made a wise decision. Now your thoughts onto El-Ghazi deal off, and Facundo Pellistri has been tipped to obviously come into the boots of Sancho, right, and Anthony. Then what do you talk about? What do you say about Paul Pogba current situation is into after being suspended, and 4 years are really going to be put onto him without kicking the professional ball, you know, and that will see him lose his deal with Adidas and so on and so on. That is Paul Pogba. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. I'm out.